Comprehension is the ability to derive meaning from text. Fluent reading supports comprehension. When a reader has a large bank of words in long-term memory, they will be able to read fluently and will have more cognitive capacity to think about the meaning of the text they are reading. Text chosen for comprehension work should be at a level that does not overload a learner with decoding and vocabulary challenges. The components of reading that support comprehension include building sound letter knowledge and word analysis skills to enable orthographic mapping. Orthographic mapping is the process of analysing and learning new words to build a large bank of words in memory that can be instantly recognised. Adults can improve text comprehension when taught word analysis skills, sentence level comprehension, as well as text comprehension strategies. Adults who are struggling with reading may be able to recall ideas from a text or locate a single piece of information in a simple text, but they are often not able to synthesize information from longer or more complex texts. Comprehension skills can be taught explicitly and include metacognitive thinking. Metacognitive skills involve self-monitoring for understanding while reading. When meaning breaks down at a word, sentence, or paragraph level, a reader needs to apply a fix-up strategy. For example, rereading, slowing down reading, decoding, working out some vocabulary, stopping to think, or doing some more detailed outlining. Before reading, explicit strategies for supporting comprehension include activating prior knowledge, identifying new vocabulary, and having a purpose for reading. With adults, this might relate to an area of study, or it might be about expanding knowledge of an area of interest to the learner.
Hi Shane, today we're going to practice some reading strategies and we're going to look particularly at the things we do before reading. So before reading, usually we have to think about prior knowledge. What do we already know about the topic? And if you have a look at the headline, what does it say?
13-year-old scales Mount Everest.
Okay, what goes through your mind when you see that word Mount Everest?
I know about Mount Everest. I've seen docos on it.
Okay. What about when you think about 13-year-old scales Mount Everest?
Yeah, that seems a bit young to me.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to find out what the rest of the story is about. But before we head into the whole story, we need to have a look at some of the words that might be more difficult to read. And how about this word here? Can you read it for me?
Summit.
Summit. Okay. Are you really clear on what that word means?
Not sure.
No. So why don't we have a look in the dictionary, and we're going to use the word chart to write the word, and then we'll put it into a sentence. So have a look in the dictionary.
Right, okay.
Okay, so start by writing the word in the middle.
Summit.
Okay, and let's write a definition as well.
The highest part.
Excellent, the highest part. So the summit is the highest part, which is what he reached.
Mm-hmm.
And can you come up with a sentence that uses the word summit?
The summit is only 20 metres away.
I'd say if you're climbing Mount Everest, that would be a great relief.
Yeah.
All right, what about a synonym? And a synonym is a word that's similar in meaning.
Okay. Peak.
Peak. All right, now for an antonym, which is the opposite, really. It's what's the opposite of summit?
Bottom.
The bottom. So if we now have another look at the actual whole sentence, could you read it out to me? And let's see if the word summit makes more sense.
A spokesman for Jordan Romero says the boys' team called by satellite phone from the summit of the world's highest peak on Saturday.
Does the word summit make more sense in that
Yes.
now? And if you read it to think about peak, it would be even easier to remember. Excellent work. Thanks for that.
During reading, strategies aim to engage a reader actively with the text. This may include making notes or filling out a graphic organiser. Linking ideas with a reader's knowledge or experience or thoughts that are generated by the text can be facilitated by discussion. Discussion can provide opportunities for a tutor to think aloud, to demonstrate how a good reader makes sense of text content. While this may be modelled by the tutor initially, and templates provide question prompts, the aim is for the reader to direct thinking and questioning themselves as they become more confident.
Hi Shane, last week we looked at some before reading strategies and we identified some hard words. This week I want to look at a strategy which is something we use while we're reading, and it encourages us to read really deeply and think about things while we're reading. And it's actually a really handy chart where as we read, we use these symbols to mark the reading. So for example, when I'm reading and I see a question mark, I'll mark it as a question mark. Or if something is important, I'll put an asterisk. Or if I have a text-to-self connection, something that I might know or have experienced myself, I'll put a TS. So I'd like you to have a look at the chart and then mark the reading, and we'll have a chat about it.
Okay.
Thanks for doing that. I noticed that you've marked this word highest with an important asterisk. Why did you think it was important?
Because Everest is the highest mountain in the world.
Absolutely. And what about this area here? You marked it with a TS.
Yes, I know about this company and I have actually done some mountain climbing with them.
Great. So when you use this kind of technique, did you find that it made you think more deeply about what you were reading?
Yes.
A reader's ability to accurately retell content from text demonstrates how well they understand the text. A learner may need practice to find the main ideas in text. After reading, a graphic organiser can help identify key ideas and focus a reader on the important points to include in a summary. Close reading can support understanding more complex texts. A text might be read several times to develop a deeper understanding of the content. The first reading can tackle technical questions and identify the main ideas. The second reading would consider the structure and purpose of the text, and the third reading would inquire more deeply into the ideas within the text, linking with reader knowledge, drawing inferences and conclusions.
Hi Shane, in this session we're going to be looking at telling back the main idea, or using my favourite template, what's the big idea? And in order to tell a story back, we need to have some key questions, and I've got some here. Do you want to have a look at them and read them out to me, please?
Okay. Who, what, where, when, why, how?
Okay. In the who box, thinking about the story, who's the main character involved?
Young Jordan.
Jordan Romero, and there are some other people involved as well, like the Sherpa guides and his father, so we have to think about who else might be involved. As we go through the reading, you will fill out each box for each section, so the what, the where, the when, the why, and the how. So you really do have to actively read. Then in order to summarize it, you take all that information and put it into 25 words or less. Want to have a go?
Okay.
Great.